What is up? What is going on, David, SVA Card Collectors? And we have a treat for you. Oh, a treat. I have a good interview with George. He's part of my group. He started off a couple of months back pestering me, bothering me questions, and now the tables have turned. He's really good. He's a Facebook flipper now. He does a really good job and makes some good side money. Flipping cards on Facebook, buying, cards on Facebook and then flipping them. So, you guys are going to learn a lot from this interview today. Also, just to let you know, Panini has they're doing a Dutch oven auction for 2019-20 Panini Donruss Optic. It's a premium box set. It's starting at $2,000, which is a very smart thing to do to sell a high-end product during this time. I think it's very smart on Panini's. It'll still sell out anyway. That's the crazy thing about it. But without further ado, here is George.
What's going on, everyone? This is Dave, and I have here George, Mr. Wander Franco. I group for a long time, and I wanted to interview him because he's been getting progressively better at this flipping business. So this is George, and first question right off the bat, how did you get back into this hobby?
So I used to watch like poker vlogs on YouTube, and then randomly I got a "this is recommended for you," and it was a Jabs family video, and I just spent an entire day just watching him go through junk cards and go to flea markets and swap meets and all that, and started thinking about it, and I probably hadn't bought a card in at least 20 years. And little by little, I just kind of started to get a little itch and started looking on eBay and was blown away with how expensive everything was. And he, every video that I watched, it always seemed like he found something amazing in a pile of crap. So I started buying these $50 grab bag or grab boxes off eBay, 5,000 count cards. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that spent $50 for commons.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know any better. And then, it's actually funny. I think I've told you this story before. How I found you is I was in Tampa for a Yankees Rays game. My girlfriend wanted to go to the beach, and I hate the beach, so she was in the water.
You have a girlfriend?
I do have a girlfriend.
Wow.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
That first.
So, so she's all about the beach, and I hate it. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, I'll find a podcast or something. And I had already ordered a bunch of cards to be delivered that Monday. And I put in baseball cards into iTunes, and yours came up. And this is about a year ago. This is last July. I'm not sure when you started the podcast, but literally one of the first, I don't remember what the topic was or if you had a tagline, but it's are you in your mid 30s and trying to figure out how to get back?
That's my
synopsis. And I literally was like, holy crap, this guy's talking to me. And I started listening. And I think one of the first ones that I heard was, buying junk wax to find gem mint 10s. And I'd been out of the game for so long that I had no idea what junk wax meant. I had no idea what gem mint 10 was. I just knew that I'm going to buy all these cards and put them in team sets. And I wasn't even thinking about money yet. I just wanted to buy stuff. And that was cheap. And that was very cheap at the beginning.
Now, were you always in the mindset of, I want to make money, I want to flip and make bank, or did you also want to collect some cards as well?
So, to be honest, when I first started, I really had no idea. I got caught up in the fact that I was an adult and could buy everything that I wanted to buy. And
Same thing with me. That's exactly when I first started.
Yeah,
I'm an adult.
like
I
I
can
knew
actually do this. I don't need anyone's permission. Like Amanda,
exactly.
I told my wife, I said, "Hey, can I buy this stuff?" She's like, "Okay."
So it's funny because I remember on the way home from our vacation, it was a Sunday night, and I said, "Hey, just so you know, I spent like $300 in cards. It's gonna be a lot. I gotta find a place to put it." And she was not happy about it at all. But
she already went to Grinder, not Grinder. That's that shows how much I'm out of the game.
Tinder.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Grinder, Tinder. To me, it's the same thing.
Grinder's actually for men. Just so you know. Just so you know, there, Dave. No, but
everyone's like, "Oh, I'll see Dave's profile on Grindr now."
But at first, I didn't have a game plan. I just was buying and buying and buying. And when I started to realize that those boxes of crap were just crap, I think was around the same time that I reached out to you. And I think like you had started mentioning on your podcast, like, "Hey, I got a Facebook group, join the group." And then I remember, I think I reached out to you randomly. It was probably like super weird. I'm like, "Hey, I'm in my mid-30s just like you. Let me bother you every day about cards for the next 3 months."
Yes.
And then I kind of got away from that. And I remember you telling me, like, one of the first times that we talked, he was like, "Buy," and I'm gonna make fun of you because you said buy Bauman. I said buy
of course.
Bauman.
I always say I actually, you know what? Now it comes normally to me to say Bowman, which I don't know how I finally broke it.
But
Bauman was what I said forever.
And then I went nuts. I bought player lots. I bought singles. Yeah. Never anything big, because again, like I was still cheap and not really knowing what I was doing, but I was buying paper lots and second year lots and like just nothing. Again, like some nice stuff, some Pete Alonso. Like I got in right. It was July, so I guess Bowman 2019 had been out, 4 or 5 months. So I was buying everything I could of like Tati and Eloy and Alonso and Vlad, but not like the good stuff, just like their like chrome cards. And then I remember you saying, "Man, you got to start selling. You got to start selling." And I was like, "But I've got so much stuff coming in. Like, I don't know when to start." Like, it literally got to the point where I was probably getting 20 to 30 things in the mail a week, just amassing and amassing and amassing. And then I finally said, "Okay, I need to start to sell."
So when you started, now I remember, I do remember talking to you about this. And I remember because it's funny. Every single person or a lot of people that I know goes through the same thing. And if you follow my podcast from the very beginning, everyone starts the same way, I think, anyway. You start going back to the cards that you used to like, and then you go, "I'm going to buy wax boxes from back in the day, and I'm going to pull out PSA 10 cards, and I'm going to make a ton of money." And then they realize that you'll never be able to pick them because they're all crap. The way they cut them back in the day, you can't do it. Then they go, "All right, forget this. I'm going to buy large lots and break them up, and that's how I'll make money." And so, like, I started not getting big lots, but I tried doing some of that. And I was like, "This is taking me forever." And I think that's where you sort of like didn't do the first thing. You sort of went to getting a ton of Bowman. And I said, "Dude, you're going to get sick and tired of this really quick." But you were making some money. I think so.
Yeah, one of my first, I guess, like successes was I found this lady. I don't know if like she was a breaker or someone she knew was a breaker, but I bought like a 3,000 card lot of 2019 Bowman. And, this is July, right? So like, no one really knew that Alonso would hit 50 home runs or Eloy would be like,
he was
you
doing
had
well, though.
Yeah, doing well. But like, I got a 3,000 card lot for like $90. And it had chrome. The only thing it didn't have any colors, it didn't have any numbers, and it didn't have any autographs. So just base, right? Base and paper, but I broke it down and I got like 30 Alonzos and 30 Eloys and 30, and this is a year ago when you could still sell those for, $4 or $5 before everyone had a million of them. So I just started putting them on eBay and little by little started making money on it. Like not anything amazing, I was just
Let's say
amazed.
how much were you buying them for? Just so people understand, like, hey, like if I was to do something like that, you can make money, but well, the first thing is how much time did it take you to break everything apart?
It took a lot. I mean, it would take, I'm a lot better at it now because I've got a little system down. But it probably took me a good 2 or 3 days to really break down 3,000 cards, get it in, team order and then player order. It was a process.
But
again,
how much were you paying for them about?
Again, I will remember that one forever because I still I call it my honeypot because I still go to it every now and then. Like, at the end of last season, I went back to it and there's what's his name? Lux. There's Lux cards in there. Lux, and then, and now I got Luzardo cards and AJ Puck cards and so I mean I'm not gonna make a fortune off it. I think I got lucky then and got it for like $90 because a lot of those lots that were very similar to that were going for like 200 or 300 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely made my money back on that. But at the same time, besides that, I was buying a lot of like 10 card lots, 10 cards for $15. And then I would immediately check the solds and think, oh my God, if I sell these 10 cards at $3 a card, I made $15. This is great. If I do this, 1,000 times this month, I'm going to be rich, which is literally what I was doing at first, was just grinding away at $2, $2, $2, $2. And I mean, it was exhausting.
Yeah, that's a lot of people I know coming into it. They go that route. Some people go with the route, like I said before, buying the wax boxes and trying to get PSA 10s.
Yeah. And I've got a job and I do well. I just, at the time I was so unsure of what to buy and what to do that, spending $300 on a hobby box at the time just seemed like the dumbest thing in the world, or buying, a Bowman Chrome HTA pack and, getting 5 cards for, $115. It's like, who does that? That's crazy.
It's pure gambling. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's what I did really, was just buying player lots and trying to buy bulk lots off of breakers that just wanted to get rid of what they thought was garbage, which now I feel the same way. But
how much do you think? You said you spent $90. How much do you think, just gross, like how much you think have you sold so far? Like, are you talking about 300, 400? Are you talking about
easily? Because at the time then, no one was calling Wander Franco, what he was. And I probably pulled 15 of them alone. And I mean, it had Wanders and Joey Barts and, and again, a year ago, you would pay, $3 for an Alonzo Chrome card. So I definitely made my money back. And like I said, I'm still pulling, first year cards of Taylor Trammell and guys like Pablo Martinez, that are now that second layer of guys that are starting to get some publicity and stuff like that. So, I'm not going to sell there. I'm never going to go back to what I was doing. But I'm going back in there now and I'm selling those off as the lots that I was buying because it's just a lot easier.
That's the one thing that's good about Bowman, because you can have a bunch of Bowman and you just sit on them.
Yep.
And sometimes a guy just pops and you're like, let me go check to see what I have. And then you like, oh, I have a refractor of him, or I have this, or I have that.
Yep.
And if PSA wasn't so slow, and well, I'm talking about, we're talking about pre-pandemic. We'll go pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Talk about, it doesn't exist, coronavirus. We're going into a world that doesn't exist. But you would be able to send it in. The only thing is, it would take like 3 months to get it. But if you were able to get a card back in a month or so, you'd be able to make a decent profit, and
Yeah.
you could keep on doing that. If you bought Bowman year after year after year,
Yeah.
you would always have a steady flow of it. But
100%.
I know you get tired if you're working a full-time job. Like most people that listen to this podcast are usually middle-aged men. They're sexy and they just want to buy. They just want to buy cars. They want to collect, but they also want to make some money as well. And so like they don't have time to like. All right, I'm going to spend a day. Like my kids would my wife would kill me, but my kids would. They just be like, "What are you doing? Are you playing with your cards again?" They make like so. Like nobody has the time for it.
Yeah, it's funny. My girlfriend is very understanding, actually, even after a year.
She's still with you. Oh,
she's
amazing.
still with me. She's still with me. I definitely make sure to show her my my eBay account so she can see that I'm making money off that and I'm not just sitting there. But now that I've evolved into where I'm at now, I don't have to do it as much. But back then, I mean, it literally would take me, 5 hours of sorting and then 3 hours of posting and then 2 or 3 hours of packaging stuff up. Because when I was selling singles and lots, I would go to the post office with, a shopping bag full of stuff to mail out.
Yeah, no, it's
a full-time job.
Yeah, it's a process.
If you're wanting to get into this, and you just want to have fun and flip some stuff now and then, great. But I remember one of the first conversations that I had with you. I think you asked me, how much time are you spending on eBay in like a day or like a week or something like that? And I think I said, like, I don't know, I think I'm on there maybe an hour or two a day. How much are you? And this was before you had your last child. And I think you said like 10 hours a day. I'm on there 10 hours a day. And I thought,
well, that's maybe not 10 hours a day, but
10 hours a week.
Yes. Yeah. But I was on it all the time because I put my daughter to sleep and I would just sit there and watch. But that's how much time you needed to spend.
Yeah. And, and at the time I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, there's not enough time in the day. And now, not so much now because I've kind of switched it up a little bit, but I mean, I'm on there. If you spend the time and know where to look and you find buyers that you like and you save them, there are deals to be found behind the deals. You just got to look and look and look and you can find stuff.
For sure. Like when I used to, well, I still do it, but I don't do it as much anymore. I used to go garage sailing and I used to go to estate sales and stuff like that and just buy electronics and things like that to flip on eBay. It was more of more fun for me. It wasn't like, oh, I need this for a job, but I could have. Like if I said, all right, I'm going to do this full time, you can make a good buck. And a lot of times what I would do is a good buck. I sound like an old man. You can make some good money. So what I would do is I would buy, I would go, hey, how much is this? And then I would go, do you have anything else? What about this stuff? I want to buy everything. How much is that going to cost? Like, and I would always get such a better deal.
Yeah.
Just talking, and then you start doing some like investigation, and you start figuring out, and that's really what this industry is. It's the same thing. You buy one car, and you start talking to a guy, and you go, "Hey, do you have anything else?"
Exactly.
What if I bought everything? Like that's where you get the best deals, is where you buy everything. So now I know you have made a transition. So when did you? What was the point where you went, oh my God, this is so much better doing what you're doing now? Like what was your feel, or was there something someone said? Like
I don't remember like the aha moment, but I started getting into Facebook groups, and I'm in a Bowman Chrome group that has like 7,000 members. I'm in a baseball only group that has like 12,000 members. I'm in a Panini Prism group that's got, just a lot, right? And I started seeing all these cards and all these lots, and I started learning about lining and razzing and progressives and, not having to pay eBay fees and stuff like that.
And I'm going to hold on one second. I know what it is, but what is lining?
Okay, so it's actually something I've gotten really good at. Lining it's pretty much a raffle that you do through Facebook groups. So if I've got, like, for example, in front of me right now, I got a 2018 update Chrome Juan Soto BGS 9.5, and I
Mhm.
think that's it's like a $70 card. So you go into these rooms and you take a picture of it and you say, hey, I'm going to line this card 10 entries at $8 a piece. And then what ends up happening is, instead of someone spending $80 on that card, they pretty much buy a ticket to try to win that card. You sell 10 spots, everyone sends you their money. Usually the rooms will have like a video host, and
Mhm.
they do that like a randomizer, or and then it just picks a winner for you. And somebody won that card for however many entries that they bought. And then the good thing for me that I like about it is that you don't have to pay eBay fees, and you just ship it person to person.
Now, do you have to pay anyone for the video to do the
Yeah,
random?
yeah, it's customary that you tip. Usually, if I'm gonna do a lot of them, like tonight, I'll be honest, I probably got a stack of 15 cards. I've got a guy that I like to use. I'll just give him a flat fee and tell him, hey, I'm gonna run 15 tonight. Here's $50, which sounds like a lot, but it's customary that you do about $3 to $4 per card. So
Mhm.
what's actually accepted and not frowned upon is, when you line a card, you charge about $10 more than the average comp to cover shipping and tipping, and it's just accepted.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been. I know I've done a couple of them, and everyone just ignores me. They just say, look, look, Baldy, I don't want any of your cards. But you've been doing very well doing this. Now, why do you think? What type of cards are you doing that for? Are they?
So I spend a lot of time being a creep in the room and just watch, and don't comment on stuff. Like, I'll go a few days with, like, not posting anything, and I'll just watch for like the trends of like who's selling and who's not. So like right now, you know, um, Alonzo and Tati and Eloy. Who's the fourth guy? I forget all the time from
Vlad
last
Figueroa?
year. Yeah, they're not really that desirable right now. Everyone has those, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now everybody wants Andrew Vaughn, Josh Jung, Riley Green. So I don't even waste my time with posting, you know, uh, last year's guys. Now, if I come across something that, I got for real cheap, or I know is a good card, like everybody wants Soto update cards and everybody wants Acuna
Mm-hmm.
update cards, right? But everyone else has everything else. So I try to really just zero in on what I see selling a lot of, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So like I just
You're
again, I'm
doing your
not really.
research.
Yeah.
You watch people and you go, all right, this is what's selling, and either you try to buy those cards for cheap, or if you have it already, well, this is what I'm going to release into the market.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I'm not the most analytical guy, and I don't really do that much homework. Like, I don't watch or read Sports Investor or Striker. I'm not that, like, number wise. I really just go by gut, and what I see moving and what works. And like you were saying before, with you at the swap meets and stuff, basically what I'll do is, and this is something that works a lot too, is I'll see a guy who will post 15 cards and he's got a price next to each one, and he says, or best offer. And I'll sit there and I'll comp one each out and make my little list of like what it should cost. And then I'll
Mm-hmm.
message him and say, hey, how much for all of them? Which, again, like you would say with your flea market, I would much rather, if I'm a seller, if I'm a motivated seller, I would much rather sell everything to one person and take a little bit of a loss than try to piece everything out and like haggle and all that. So a lot of times I'll buy stuff, 10, 15, 20% off comps, and then literally just turn it right around and line it in the same room for $10 more than comps.
Yeah, I mean, and you also find out if the seller is real or not, because a lot of times they go, no, I want, if you add all them up and it's $1,000, and they go, well, I'll give it to you for $9.95.
Yeah,
The guy is just like not serious. And
exactly. And I definitely now the one thing that I will stress to everyone I probably do about 90% of my stuff through Facebook now. You got to do your homework about who you're selling to as well, and who you're buying. Well, not really selling to, because like once you have the money, you should be good.
Yeah,
but
that should be
buying
fun.
from is a whole other story. One of the first things that I did was I found a Facebook group. It's got a really long title, and I'll put it in the chat. It's a scammers page, where I guess this page has been around forever, but
Yeah.
anyone who's ever been scammed or almost been scammed will post screenshots, eBay buyer names, Facebook profiles. So a lot of times, if I'm buying a lot that seems a little too good to be true, I will definitely look them up on the scammer page, or I'll look up their name in the room itself. So, if some guy's got amazing cards, he's giving me a stupid good deal that it seems too good to be true. If it's the first time he's ever posted it in the room, I probably won't do it, just because you don't know. Now, obviously, when you're doing PayPal, you send goods and services, you're protected, but it's a pain in the butt. So I would definitely stress the Facebook. You have to do a little more homework on the back end of who you're selling to or buying from.
I'll put that in the description to this interview. But I agree, and always, especially in Facebook, do goods and services, because you have protection. If you do friends and family, yeah, you're saving them money, and you'll probably get a better deal. But if they don't send you the cards, you're SOL.
Yeah. So, I started doing that, and that's when, you go from making, $2 a transaction to $20 a transaction to $30 a transaction, which again, it's not that much, but it adds up, because I on average, I probably sell 20 to 30 things a week, cards, packages, lots, so it adds up well. And then it's funny, because I just remembered my first aha. I never really get into other sports. I just don't. And I got caught up in the Zion mania, I guess early this winter, like in January. And a friend of mine came to me and said, hey, I know you only buy baseball, but I got this deal. I've got these like 12 Zions that I'm trying to get rid of. And this is like, 2 months before he even was whispered that he'd play. And he's like, hey, I'm giving you for like $30 a piece. And we'd done a lot of deals before. And I was like, all right, I'll buy them off you and sit on them. And, I think I sat on for like a month, and then I'm in this Panini room and I start seeing them getting lined for $60, $70. And then, clips start coming out of Zion, starting to dunk and everything. And then I see the lines go up more and more. I ended up selling them for like $115 a piece. And then I started buying them for $70 and then flipping them for $125. And that's
how are you buying them for 70?
Because again, you just find people who don't want to put in work is really what it is. Like, and then the same thing is, you have in the baseball world, you have guys that buy and all they care about are colors, numbers, and autos. They don't care about anything else. It's the same thing in every other sport, at least in my experience. You have guys that buy, boxes and boxes and boxes of Panini, and they've got Zion base, and sure, they could put it on eBay if they wanted to and sell it, for $100, but by the time it's done with fees and everything, you're going to get like 85 back. Or they can sell 10 of them or 15 of them to me, hand money right in their hand, and then they're done. They don't have to sit there and line them and tag people and, tag runners and tip stuff. I don't mind doing that because I know a lot of times I'm going to make $20 or $30 a time. Now, there might come a time 6 months from now where I look back at what I'm doing now and think, oh, I can't believe I'm doing that. Like now I'm just dealing in PSA 10s, but it works for now.
So you're going to hire cards that cost more money.
Yes. So basically now I'm strictly looking at buying lots from guys that I know. Now, again, eventually the guys that I know might not exist anymore. And then I got to figure out a new thing. But I happen to get in these Facebook groups. And I know I think I did a video that I put in the group maybe a month or two ago about a progressive that I bought.
What's a progressive?
So progressives are very hit or miss. I think I struck gold once, and then a lot of times it's not that good. So someone will say, hey guys, at 7:00 tonight, I'm going to run a $300 progressive, and here's the number one card in the lot. And they'll show, again, for example, just because it's in front of me, BGS 9.5 Soto update card. So what they'll do is they'll get people to follow the post, and they'll start posting cards, first card, second card, third card. And the point is that as a buyer, when you feel like it's worth the money, you say sold. It's kind of like an auction, but instead of adding money, you're adding cards to it, I guess, if that makes sense. And, a lot of times some sellers are super motivated and want to get rid of stuff. And the point of the progressive is it should be worth more than you're actually paying for it. But, what we're starting to see in a lot of the rooms that I'm in is, guys will say, okay, I'm going to run this $500 progressive. And they'll start off with a $300, Alonso first autograph. And then they're going to fill it up with 50 cards that are worth like $1 that nobody wants. But every now and then you get some guys that will have some fire. Like I bought one that I put in the room. I don't know how it lasted as long as it did, but I comped it out to like $1,000 and I bought it for $300.
Wow. How were you doing that? Were you progressively? Were you actually going each card? Were you looking up right away, or did you do that after the fact?
I was doing it right away. Now there's a lot of times that I do that I miss out on stuff, because like someone will post, because I do everything off my phone, right? So they'll put up a card.
You're gonna go off of Facebook to go on eBay, and then you go back to it and you go, there's 3 more cards I gotta look at. So
but what'll happen every now and then is while I'm looking up one card, someone will say sold, and then I missed out on the lot. But I never buy anything blind. I never buy anything without knowing what the comps are, when the last sold it. Like I'm not going to buy a bunch of cards that haven't had a comp in 3 months. Because again, then that tells me no one's looking for it. And the one thing that I've learned, and I remember early conversations with you, is I get tired of looking at stuff. I've got two 5,000 count boxes slid under my bed of like 50-cent cards that I just got tired of looking at. I don't want to throw them out because I'm cheap, but
no, you can't. I'm looking at, literally, I have 4 boxes of crap, and there's no way I'm throwing them out. But it's I probably got like $100 worth of cards. I'll never throw it out.
That's the thing that I've learned, and I try to tell newer people, like I say newer when I haven't even been into it for a year.
But a year is a long time for someone who's just getting back into it, because
it is.
Like, where's Dunruss? Where's Score? And
exactly. Where's Flair? Like, what happened to my Flair cards?
They're gonna be good this year. I'm telling you. Yeah,
No, but like, I feel like I've learned. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've made a lot of good things in the last year that I feel good at, like confident enough, and I don't feel like arrogant to like tell someone when they're doing something wrong or when they're like when they need to get it out of their own way. And I think I remembered it was recently someone in our room. Our Facebook page really isn't as active as the Flickr chat, but I think it was on yeah, the Flickr. I'll tell you what, I've learned so much through Flickr. If anyone is listening to this, download the Flickr chat.
No,
Facebook is great and all.
Not Flickr.
But
not Flickr. It's
what?
Flick.
Flick? I thought I had an R on the end of it.
No.
Okay. Okay, I will take that back. Flick.
Now I'm gonna look. No, it's Flick. It's Flick check.
Oh God. But yeah, someone had posted all these cards they had that, you know, they knew were worth $2 each, and they didn't understand why they couldn't sell them on eBay. No one would buy them. And I told the guys, listen, we all have 5,000 of those same cards. You got to take 20 of them together and sell them for $15 just to get rid of them. Hopefully he did it.
Yep. No, the Flick chat is just a much easier way to like converse. It's somewhat like Twitter, but way better because it's just instant. You're just having a conversation with someone. So it's like a lot of people just share information. You know, I've learned a ton about basketball, about other sports that I would have no idea about.
Yeah,
This
you know,
good, and this is why. And like, oh, all right.
You know, because like now, I can post in the basketball room, you know, hey guys, I got this deal offered to me. Is it too good to be true? How long do I have to sit on it? You know, what do I have to do? Like, and within 10 minutes, someone who knows way more than I do will say, that's a good deal. Do it. Don't do it. Wait on it, which is great because, you know, a year ago I was making mistake after mistake after mistake. So, I mean, it's definitely helpful now.
Yeah, no, it helps me out. I'll tell you that much. So right now, how much are you spending now? Like now, if you're going to a deal, like you're probably spending, maybe you're spending the same amount, but you're getting a lot less cards, or are you spending more? Are you spending?
I'm spending more. You know, again, at the very beginning, I was afraid to spend because I didn't know what I was going to get back. I had no previous knowledge. I didn't know like history and track record and trends and all that. I'm definitely spending more. You know, like just over this weekend, you know, this pandemic's got everyone scared. I did 4 or 5 separate deals. I probably spent $900, maybe $1,000 total.
It's a good thing. That's what you need to do. You need to spend money during a pandemic. It's the most important thing.
Listen, I work in a grocery store. I'm gonna be okay.
Well, you can trade those cards for toilet paper, maybe.
That's what the commons are for. Yeah. No, but I mean, I made sure that I comped the cards out before I made any deals. And now, like, again, it might sound slimy, but now it's a buyer's market because there are people out there that just want to get rid of stuff because they, you know, they got bills to pay or stuff like that. So I can go into a deal and preemptively say, hey, I'm willing to spend a very, you know, in my eyes, a decent amount of money with you, and I'll buy almost everything you have, but I'm going to want it at 75% of comps. And then again, you know, with the market being down now, you know, the cards that I'm buying now at 75% a month ago were worth, you know, 20% more than they are now. You know, and hopefully, you know, when sports comes back up and running in, you know, 1 month or 2 months, you'll add another 20% back onto it, and I'm sitting good.
It ain't gonna be 1 to 2 months, my man.
You know, well, we live in different parts of the country. You're in where they're gonna film Outbreak 2. Yeah.
I'm in a movie. I'm in Contagion right now.
Yeah,
so I can't imagine the Yankees go, all right, all right, guys, let's get out there. Let's make it happen. Like I don't see that. And so
Yeah.
what happens? What's gonna happen is you're gonna have like each state is gonna pop up to being really bad and whatever. So that's why I think it's gonna be prolonged, just because like once New York finally figures it out and is able to contain it, maybe that'll be 2 or 3 months. But then maybe Georgia or some other state will go, oh crap, now they're starting to peak. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be one. Hey, the whole country's peaking all at the same time, and now it's starting to go down. I think it's
Yeah.
just that's where I think it's going to be a problem. So it's going to be tough for sports to start back up because teams are
Yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, like,
it's in one
how
spot.
can you have a baseball game with 5,000, 50,000 people? And yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a long ways away. Hopefully
Social
everything can get
distancing in baseball games.
Yeah.
You can sell 10,000 people in a 50,000 stadium, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. But so everything that you're buying now, are you trying to flip right away, or are you thinking long term, or is it George long term, which is a month?
Yeah. So I am notoriously impatient.
Yes.
But as now again, this isn't a brag, but as I've made more money, I'm a lot more patient to hang on to things. So, like everything that I've bought in the last, 7 to 10 days, I could flip now and easily make 25% back. Or I guess 20 or 100, I'm terrible at math. Make more money.
How about this? Can you give me a specific deal that you've done where you bought it and that you've already sold it? Doing, now going to what you're doing now. Can you do that? Did I just throw you a curveball? I threw you a curveball.
I think you did. I think you did. Because I do that all the time. I mean, I literally do that so much.
But you just give me an example. So if you bought, whatever, you're buying stuff on Facebook, you're spending, $500. Is there any way where you just flipped it right away? Do you have any?
Yeah. So like literally today, everything that I put on the chat that I bought today, I'm already getting messages on Facebook groups wanting to buy a lot of it. I mean, it literally is that fast. So like, for example, Reese Hines is like one of those like next level or 2 levels away guys, but his cards are really big now. Everybody wants them. So I've got a $4.99 first auto, and then I've got a 71 Sparkle, and I've got like 6 messages alone since I've been with you. Now I've seen it pop up on my phone asking about them alone, and I haven't even had these cards.
Those are Bowman.
Yeah.
What is it? It's 2019.
Yeah, though this is a 2019 draft, or no, 2020 draft, right? Or no?
No.
2019 draft. Reese Hines first autos. That's what I really like right now.
So you bought it for how much?
So this was a lot. Like this was a 16 card lot that I spent $445 on shipped. Comped, it's worth $980. Worth, and I'm doing quotes like you can see what I'm doing. But
no, I understand. Yeah, like when you look every single card up on eBay and you look at all the what they're sold for, it comes out to $900 and whatever dollars.
Yeah. So I'm already up 5, and then if I line them on Facebook groups, which I know I can because they're all desirable cards and desirable names, that's another maybe $100, $150 total. If I line them all like that, I make more. So for a $440 investment, I'll make $1,200 if I sell them today. Now, if I sit on them and, baseball does come back at some point, I can only assume that they're going to go up.
Yeah, I mean, if this was a normal, baseball season, right now, right now the season probably wouldn't have started yet. Or maybe they would have been the first game, but you would have had that spring training where everyone's playing and the buildup of what everyone's going to do. And
exactly.
So cards tend to go up, and then even though they might hit like 20 home runs in the month, they tend to go down or they stay the same. Just because people like to think they're gonna do better, and when they actually
Yeah.
do good, they're like, well, they were supposed to. So like I don't get that, but the buildup is where the cost, where you can do really well, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what you're doing. So
And the thing too that I've seen, because like I again, this pandemic thing, it's so new that I keep waiting for like it's noticeable that prices have dropped. Like I definitely pay attention to sales from 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. And it's only gonna get worse. But in these Facebook rooms, these lines and these razzes and guys, like there must be a very select population that is not afraid of anything because they're still buying, and they're buying all day long, all night long, singles, lots, boxes. I'm in rooms where there's guys selling cases of draft, like just, oh, I've got 2 cases, oh, I'll just buy one. So that, like, now I shouldn't say strictly. I probably buy 90 to 95% of what I have through Facebook. And I mainly only sell through Facebook now. Like eBay, I'll put like some bigger stuff on there, but I've kind of got away from it.
what do you mean bigger stuff? Are you talking about the amount of cards, or are you talking about the price?
The big, I can't talk now. Like a bigger price. So like, again, if you would have told me a year ago that I'd be sitting on some like $300 cards, I'd be like, oh my God, that's crazy. It's kind of hard in some rooms to line something that big.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then again, just like myself, everybody wants a deal. So I don't really sell that big of stuff because I don't want to lose money on big cards. So like I'll put them on eBay and sell them there. And I don't really mind with the fees and stuff there. So like mainly with Facebook, I kind of stay like with $100 cards.
So that's
Just
the
because
sweet spot for you. So like 100,
yeah,
100. So anything over 100, 150, you're talking about right around there, or is
yeah,
that too much
yeah,
giving up?
yeah. I mean, that's the stuff that I see move the most. Now, don't get me wrong. Um, I actually just joined a Bowman Chrome high roller room. I have no business being in there at all, but like there are guys that sell, you know, $5,000 cards in there, $10,000 cards. So they're like people are still buying that stuff, but the $100, the $150, that stuff gets sold so fast, it's insane.
Yeah, and it's a leap when you're starting back into it and you go 100, $150 for a card. You're like, dude,
Yeah,
I don't know, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what to collect. So like,
yeah,
it's just the progression that people get to. Yours is very similar. Well, not too similar. Everyone has their own path, but it all starts from like trying different things, and it always comes like, man, I just don't have the time.
yeah,
Let me try to, raise my price per card, and maybe I don't have to do as much, and this might be a little bit easier for you. And I think 100, 100. If you were to say, if you sold 20 cards, for $100, and you're making, maybe 25, $30, that's all right.
yeah. It's not
That's
bad.
that's
It's
that's
really
good
not
money.
bad.
So it's definitely doable.
Yeah, and
So
like that's what I would stress to anyone too is like if you're gonna get in this, like to make money out of it, to like to feel like you made money, you got to put the time in because you're not like if you're not willing to jump in the deep end right away, it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take buying those lots and breaking them down and small before you feel comfortable of making that next step. Now, don't get me wrong. I have friends that, just jump right in feet first and buy, boxes and boxes and boxes and of like high line stuff. Not everyone can do that.
yep, most people can't. You have like I said, when you get back into it, you have some money, so you try to get the cards that you used to that you always wanted as a kid, and then you try to dip your feet into more expensive cards, but you make mistakes, and if you make one or two too many mistakes, then you don't
Oof,
have any money to
man.
buy any other cards.
I'll tell you what.
So you're stuck.
I made a lot of mistakes early. A
What was
lot.
your what was one of your what is one of your bigger mistakes that you made that you learned from?
Okay. I got a few off the top of my head. One thing that I did when I was buying the player lots is, you know, Topps Heritage High Series comes out on a Wednesday, and I'd be buying player lots that night.
Oh,
Top dollar. I can't believe I'm gonna get 10 Vladimir Guerreros for $50 when I see their solds right now at singles for $9. I'm gonna make $40. And then when
mhm.
you realize by the time you get it through eBay 5 days later, those sales are now, that card that was selling for $6, now everyone in the world already has it, so it's selling for $3. I made that mistake a lot, was buying stuff way too early. If you're doing the lots, like if you're going to buy, 2020 Top Series 1 and you can't wait, a week or two and you want to buy, Gavin Lux cards, you're going to pay probably 50% more than you would if you waited a month.
That's that's an important lesson that I've definitely spoken about that before, and it's
Yeah.
pretty common knowledge once you're in in the hobby and you're doing it. But like for anyone who's new and you're listening for the first time, if a set comes out, any set doesn't even matter. So if you have Gypsy Queen is coming out, so you have 2020 Gypsy Queen coming out, and you start seeing player lots the day or the next day up, they're going to be very expensive, and you're going to have some people buying them. Don't. You have to wait a month,
Yep.
wait 2 months, and then you'll be able to get those player lots. Just say they were 50, you'll be able to get them maybe for even 25, maybe even less.
Easily.
So yeah,
Because what I didn't know at the time, I didn't know what a breaker was. I didn't know what real breaks was or platinum breaks. I didn't know that there's guys out there, that have 1,000, Vladimir Guerrero 2019 Topps Heritage cards. And, a month from now, they're not even going to want to look at them, and they're going to sell them for, 50 cents. So if you wait, that's definitely something that I learned. Another thing that I don't ever do, I don't remember the last time I put anything up for an auction. I don't ever do that. I do buy it now, best offer. I lost so much money at the beginning because I was so afraid of sitting on stuff that I thought I needed to sell, 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 sell. I know for a fact I took losses. And again, like when I say take losses, I wasn't gambling that much,
mm-hmm.
enough to that I didn't eat for a day or whatever, but I know I cost myself some money by just being impatient.
Yeah, I mean it's a timing. It's in some aspects it's a timing game, and then others it's just luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes the guy just
Yeah,
does
and then
well, and you're like, I have cards, let me just sell them, and it just.
and then it's funny that you said luck. And I don't okay. So there's certain people in the hobby that just want to rip packs. That's what they want to do. I don't want to do that. Been there, done that. I would caution anyone, you're not going to be that guy. Like you're not going to be the guy at the card store that someone takes a picture of you because you pulled the one of one. It doesn't happen. Like I spent so much money buying retail because I never bought hobby. Like I didn't even know my local card store existed until like 3 months ago. But I was that guy that would go to Walmart and buy, $300 in blasters of Topps Heritage, because I wanted to pull that one card that I knew was there, and like again, I'm not trying to be a cynic or like being like Debbie Downer, but it's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it'll never happen to you again. So
Yeah.
yeah, like, I think the best card that I've pulled myself since I've been back into it, I accidentally bought a pack of 2020 Heritage low number, right? Low? Yeah. Low is first, right?
Yeah,
Is low
it's
first?
just
Yeah.
heritage. Just called
Yeah.
heritage.
So I bought the wrong pack and I got it home and I opened it up and I'm like, God, this pack sucks. There's no Tatis. There's no, whatever. And then at the very end was a 1 of 5 Ted Williams, like, I guess Heritage does like mint cards where they put like a quarter in it or a nickel or a dime. And I
Are you
looked it
talking
up.
about the minor? That might be the Heritage minor league.
No, it was definitely
Minor league, no, minor league doesn't have retail. Sorry.
it was last year's Heritage, but it was the wrong one. It wasn't the good one. It was the one that didn't have any of the.
This is a crappy one. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah. But I ended up pulling like a $300 card out of it. I probably have spent in the last year $3,000 on ripping packs. That's the only good pull I've ever had. So now I just tell everyone that I ever meet, if anyone ever asks me, and again, I'm not an expert. I like packs are fun. I just buy the card I want. If I want
Yep.
that one specific card, I'll wait a month, I'll wait 6 weeks, and I'll just buy it for 75% of what it was then. Like, and don't get me wrong, like I still get the itch. And like when something new will come out, I buy one of every offering that they have just to get it out of my system. So like when Top Series 1 came out, I bought a fat pack, a hanger, and a blaster just to do it. Just this last week, I bought a hanger, a mega, and a fat pack of what is it? Donruss, just because I wanted to do it. But I'm done buying packs. Like it's unless you're building, sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
No, it's right. It's just gambling. That's all it is.
Like I know guys that build team sets and stuff like that. Like if that's what you're gonna do, great. But if you're buying just to flip, now again, this is me. I'm very skewed. I don't collect. I tell everyone that I literally, if I have more than like 50 cards that I'm trying to sell at a time, I get real like weird about it. I buy to flip. I don't collect baseball cards. I just buy to flip, which sounds weird.
Well, no, there's a lot of people that just buy to flip. I'm an in-betweener. Like I do like to collect, but I still, to be honest with you, haven't figured out what I want to collect yet. Nothing has ever went, I went back and I went to like 1955 Tops. It's like, oh, these cards are beautiful. I want to collect them. And then I got them. And I go, I don't care about these guys. I don't care about these commons. I don't even know who this old guy is. He's dead now. Like
now, you know what's funny? I remember you and I had a conversation about that because there was a month or two where I was buying up 51 Tops, 52 Tops, 51 Bowman. I went nuts. I was buying lots. I would snipe lots at 2 a.m. that were way lower than they should have been, and then breaking them down and selling them as singles. I made a lot of money doing that. Again, at the time, relatively a lot. Buy a card for $4, sell it for $9. I did that.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I don't want to do that anymore. Now, I might look for, a Rizzuto second year that I can buy low and sell high. But I mean, it really depends on finding something that you enjoy. At the time, I enjoyed buying those monster lots and breaking it down and, making the player sets and everything. Now that sounds disgusting. It sounds like the worst thing in the world.
I remember telling you, I go, dude, you're gonna hate this, and you're like, no, I'm gonna love this. I'm making so much. I'm making money, and I go, you are, and if you have the time and you can put in, if you can put in the time and put in the work, you can make money. But after a while, you're not gonna enjoy it.
And then the good thing too, and now that I have a little more income that I can put into it in these Facebook groups, I'll make a post in the morning and say, hey guys, I'm looking to spend this much money. This is the type of card that I want. Let me know. And it's like a good looking girl saying that she's single. Like my inbox will blow up with, I've got this. And then it's literally to the point where I can play them against each other and just buy what I want now.
That's a really good that right there if you're serious and you actually spend the money, and then you don't go, nah, I didn't want to spend the 200. I'm just joking. I just want to see what I can get, because some people do that as well.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. Like, that would be me, because I'd be like, I got $200 to spend, and then I go, oh wait, the money's actually gonna come out of my account, and I get all nervous. But like, like I just go, oh, I was just joking. But like,
I'm
if you're a serious buyer, that's a great tip, because what to have people give you inventory and they
yeah.
want to get you is a crazy concept. If you're
I don't have
thinking,
to do the work.
yeah, if you're at, you're working at a grocery store and you go, well, I'm willing to spend, $1,000 on peas. Tell me what you get. No one's gonna come to you and go, here's
No.
some peas for cheap.
Yeah.
Like that's a great analogy that I just gave. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
only in this place, in baseball cards or basketball, whatever, you can do that. And that's what's really good about Facebook groups. I've done poorly in Facebook groups, and mostly because I have stuck to fire sales. And fire sales are ways for people, they have like hundreds of cards and they're trying to sell them real cheap, and I buy them real cheap. And I did okay, but have you used any fire sale? Like, do you buy cards from fire sales at all?
So I've had mixed reviews with them. A lot of times someone will say, hey, it's a fire sale, because they want the attention of what a fire sale should be. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if a store says they're doing a fire sale and I walk in and I know that it's $1 less than it was the day before, I walk out. So a lot of times these guys will say fire sale, and they'll put some crazy picture of a fire and the words flaming and everything. And then you get in there and they're selling it for, $1 less than comps. But then every now and then you get some guys in there that are just giving stuff away. They're just giving it away, giving it away. I've done pretty well. I think now in these groups, so I see like 10 fire sales a day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only so many deals around that you have to be a little more selective. I've done them myself. Like, for example, this is actually this is me to a T. This weekend is when I decided I'm done with trying to even make $5 a card. I'm done with that. I'm gonna go strictly $50 and up. So I took out 20 cards that I had left that probably comped maybe $400, but they were literal scraps from lots that I'd bought that I could not sell. They've been on eBay for 3 months. I put them in Facebook. So Saturday night, I put all the cards out. I took one big picture, and I said, somebody make me an offer. And I sold $400 worth of cards for $250 because I just wanted to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you can find deals, but to me, those were cards that I've been looking at for 2 months. I just wanted to get rid of. But I knew, like, they comped at 4, but I probably spent 150 on them.
So it didn't matter. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it didn't matter. I just wanted to get rid of them.
Now, do you use Instagram at all?
I don't. I don't use Instagram at all. I know some of the guys in our room do. If I remembered any of their throwback cards is one. Bud's ball cards is another. They seem to do well with it. I don't really use Instagram. Like, I think I've posted twice on my Instagram ever. So I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't, as terrible as it sounds, I wouldn't want to put in the work of having to start that from scratch. I've got, like, in my eyes,
I think you actually would do good with regards to finding deals on Instagram, because
I've never thought of that.
A lot of the bigger guys, they do Facebook, but a lot of the big guys are also on Instagram. And a lot of
never
people
thought of that.
eBay stores are also on Instagram. So just say you see something on eBay, you would go, all right, just say it's, me, just say I'm selling something on eBay. And then you go, oh, he also has an Instagram page. Maybe I can get it for $10 less because he doesn't have to pay that fee.
Exactly.
Let me go look him up on Instagram. So Instagram, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of big guys on there. Selling it's a little bit harder, but if you follow a ton of people and you're looking for deals, they'll follow you back. And then
Look
it
at
just
that.
like
You
it just builds off of that, and you really don't have to do too much. It's
always teaching me, Dave.
I try. So I Instagram, you'd be good. I think because for what you're talking about, that's the wheelhouse of Instagram and higher. Like they go, there's some guys that selling, buku bucks, a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. All right. So I think people have learned a ton, especially on Facebook, because I know a lot of people are just eBay. Some people do Instagram. Some people are on Facebook, but they're not really doing too much. So I think there's a good tips that you gave.
Yeah.
What are you doing now? What are you doing going forward? I know with the pandemic, what are you doing how are you dealing with the pandemic? You're just gonna buy deals and flip? Are you buying and holding? What are you doing?
It's really hard for me to hold. Like I want that like instant gratification. Like, oh, I bought this for 60 and sold it for 100. I'm so smart, when I know that if I held it for 2 more months, I could get like 150. So I'm not really sure yet. Right now I'm in buy mode. I'm buying. People are going nuts. People who, don't have a stable job. Like, I hate saying that out loud because it makes me sound like the biggest con man in the world. But like,
no, yeah, you're preying on people who are disadvantaged.
Yeah.
Let's just say it as it is.
Yeah, I mean,
you're a terrible human being. I agree. No, but people, look, you're actually, if you look at it the other way, you're doing a service. People need money.
Yeah.
They don't have much to give. And so you are providing them money so they can buy stuff that they need to live. So
yeah, and I don't know, like, I don't know this for a fact. Like, I don't know if the guy who sold me a $400 lot, needed it that bad. I'm just assuming that if people are giving me that good of deals, and it has to be related to this,
No, some people are just dumb. Some people, it's a stock market. Like right now, the stock market, everyone's tanking. Like, if you don't need the money, you shouldn't be selling anything right now in the stock market. You should just be sitting and waiting, because in 10 years from now, it's going to go back up,
and
unless you need the money. It's a different beast. So
it's crazy that it's crazy that you bring that up, because my girlfriend and I actually today were scheduling an appointment to go talk to a stockbroker in town, because I'm seeing, it's nuts. I feel like baseball cards are just like stocks, right? It's that buy low, buy high. So now I've got it in my head that like I'm gonna be the next Wolf of Wall Street, because how hard can it be? But like, we're gonna go talk to someone this week about getting an account set up, because I feel like it's the same work, as long as you're watching trends and all that. I'll give it a shot.
There's a lot more to it, but yes, there's a lot more to stocks. But a lot of times, I always tell the story of like I bought a stock, and it was the reason why I bought the stock was because oh my God, people are gonna kill me. No, because I can't remember. Berkshire Hathaway, the Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
He bought and sold this stock one time. And so I said, I'm going to buy this stock too. And it was boat cleaning stuff. And it was boat cleaning company. And every single quarter, the stock, they would break records and sell 50% more than they did the previous quarter. And from when I bought the stock, this happened. So let's say I bought it like at $3. Every single quarter, they would go, we did 50% better than we did the previous year. We broke, what analysts thought. The stocks would go down. Why? I don't know. I would go, but it's doing amazing. They'd be like, yeah, that's great. And the stocks would keep going down. And every single quarter, I go, I don't understand this. Why does this keep going down? Why does this keep going down? And then the Ebola virus came out, and this company made this chemical that had a patent on this chemical, or whatever the case would be, that when you used it, it would kill the Ebola virus.
Jesus.
And so that thing went from $2 to like $6, like in 2 days, because it was like a medium cap, stock. It wasn't, So then all of a sudden, my dumbass, I had it where, because I was losing so much, where I'm like, look, if it goes above like $5, just sell it automatically, or $4. Like I missed out on like $2 per share. And I had like thousands of these shares because I was going to be the next Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
So like, it's just the media and the mob. It's just sometimes there's no rhyme or reason for a price of a card to go up. Acuna and Soto hasn't done anything.
It's
Spring
nuts.
training. They haven't done
It's,
nothing. Gary Vee said, hey, these guys, I think they're going to be good. They went from $80 Acuna, $80 to $100 to $300.
Yep.
Why? No reason. Somebody said they were going to be a lot of money. He didn't hit the ball any better. Maybe
no.
he didn't change his stance. Like, oh, now he's going to hit 1,000 home runs. So that's the only thing that it's hard to factor in. It's just luck and sometimes just hype and just maybe someone talks about it on TV, a stock, and so it goes up. Same thing with cards. Gary Vee talked about Acuna's, they went up. I happen to have one or two, so I made some bank. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, like if I could tell anyone anything like worthwhile, I would say you got to put in some work and you got to be patient. Put in some work and be patient, and you'll get lucky every now and then.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's really, yeah. The rest just does itself.
That's good, dude. This has been awesome talking to you. Where can people find you if they want to sell you cards?
Oh wow. They can find me on the Flick chat, not the Flickr chat, the Flick chat. Or they can message me on Facebook. They can do that as well. George Seemon, Seemon. Other than that, that's all I got. I don't have a Twitter, and my Instagram's not. Yeah, so just.
You will be.
I think I might now.
I heard your wheels. As soon as I said it, I heard your wheels in your head going. He was like, I can get deals. I can spend money. So
okay,
like,
I'm not gonna lie. As you were saying that, I wrote down like 4 names that I want to go follow immediately.
So I'm glad we had this conversation. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of information. A lot of good tips, especially starting off. Everyone gets all nervous and like, I don't know what to do. And this, I think, is a good starting point for what to do, especially on Facebook.
I feel like I feel like I built a pretty good blueprint of how you can get through it.
Awesome, dude. It was great chatting with you. Nice talking to you. Thanks again. And
no problem. All right, dude.
Thanks.
I hope you enjoyed that interview. I know I did. Had a lot of fun. Learned a lot. So you guys know what to do. Head over to svacardcollectors.com. Also download the Flick Chat app. And buy some cards to go broke. Later. So I wanted to talk about a new marketplace that's about to hit the sports card scene called StarStock. StarStock is building a sports card marketplace aimed to be faster and cheaper for flipping sports cards than any other platform. This is a ground level moment, and StarStock is currently looking for people who want to be the first to sell their cards at launch of this new platform. They are offering 5% commission, no ingestion fees. You send in your cards, they do all the work and post for you. Cards are guaranteed and secured in a vault. You can choose to ship cards back at any time. They also have a little guy, he stands in front of the vault. Nobody can get in, nobody can get out. I think his name is Pedro. StarStock will be a flipper's paradise. Ooh, a paradise, where you can buy, flip, store, or ship cards with a click of a button. If you are interested in getting involved as a seller, contact Mike at mike@starstock.com. They're right now only looking for rookie cards and prospects of current players. Again, Mike at starstock.com, or you can head over to their website, starstock.com. Okay.